guys, I'm FPL and welcome back to the home of FPL videos, back with my last video of the FPL 19-20 season. Wow, what a season it's been. It's not been my best, I have to admit, but it's free hit time, so let's have a bit of fun with it to wrap up the season. Before I get into my free hit team, here's how I got on in Gameweek 37+. If you'd like to know a bit more about how it went, you can catch my full review on yesterday's Dream Team stream that I did with Sam from FPL Family. But yes, 76 points is not so bad. That's 72 with -4 and a nice little green arrow going into the last game week. Looking ahead to Gameweek 38+, and this is currently how I'm looking. If I didn't have my free hit here, I actually wouldn't be feeling too bad about taking this team into the final game week. That said, at my rank, with not a lot to play for, because let's be honest, at 400,000, no one really cares if it's 400,000 or 800,000. It's still not classed as a great season, so I'd likely have taken a bat shizzle hit and had a lot of fun with it to get in people that I fancy. Luckily though, I have my free hit, so I may as well go for it at this point. And with that, let's take a look at the free hit drafts I'm considering. Here's my first draft. This team is sticking close to what I already have, but with a few tweaks. With the goalkeepers, Pope is coming in for Henderson. I'm pretty certain on that on all three of these drafts. As he wants that golden glove, he should be certain for a start. So I'll go extremely cheap with my second keeper and get Stecklenburg, who is currently 3.9 million. I'm also fairly certain I will keep Trent. He's the only player I've kept all season and I'm concerned about a slight dip in form and maybe a bit of a hangover. But I just can't bring myself to sell him, I don't think. This team sees me triple up on Burnley defence, something that looks fairly big on the FPL Twitterverse. I'm not mad keen on it, I have to admit. I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket, only because the last game week usually throws up some surprises. I can definitely see the pluses though, so that's why I've kept them in this draft. In midfield, the main difference you'll see is that KDB and Bruno have gone, both massive calls at this point. I can't have KDB and Salah in my free hit team if I want to keep Sterling, unfortunately. Both KDB and Salah are fighting for something. Salah for the golden boot, okay, it looks slightly out of reach, but it's still a possibility, and KDB for the assist record. In this team, Salah stays, but again, that is open to a switch to KDB if need be. Martial is in over Bruno. Again, this is my headache. Bruno has a better away record, but as I'm looking to improve my rank with some risk taking, then Martial may well stay. He's also slightly cheaper. Pulisic doesn't have a great away form either, and Wolves won't be a pushover, yet I'm struggling to look past him on his recent form. Up front, I'm sold on keeping Ings. Tough fixture, but he looks so motivated in that golden boot race, and he's got it in sight now. It'll be all out attack from him, I'm sure, so Ings stays in all of my draft teams. Vardy is where I have my biggest headache. This could be Jesus. Yet a Vardy, knowing he has people biting at his heels for the golden boot, is a dangerous thought. There will be goals in that United Leicester game, and if Leicester score, we know who it's likely to be. That said, Leicester haven't looked great, and again, I'm chasing, so it's been difficult to look past some other forwards like Kane, Aubameyang or Jesus in this position. So let's take a look at my second free hit draft. This team is a Salah-less draft. Not something I'm mad keen on, but it does allow me to get another City attacker in KDB or Mahrez. It's much as you were from the rest of the free hit draft though, however with one notable difference in Kane for Vardy. And because I'd be taking a risk on Salah out, I would likely keep Bruno for safety in numbers on this one. This is my third and final draft and is likely to be where I'll be leaning my hat on this free hit. It's a good mix between the first and second draft, and if I feel like it on the day, I may switch Salah to KDB or Mahrez and move Bruno in for Martial. I hopefully won't need my bench much, so cheap as chips here. Greenwood could become Nketiah if I want extra pennies, and I'm sure Nketiah will get a run out in the final game. I'd love to play Greenwood given his fixture, but it really is who to drop in midfield. Really wish we still had that all-out attack chip. The only other people I'm considering in midfield at this point are Antonio and Son. Son would take a lot more work to get in than Antonio would. Antonio could just take Pulisic's place. Whereas I'd likely have to move from Kane or definitely drop Salah to KDB in order to move Pulisic to Sonny that way. And Aurier is the only other player I'm considering if I get cold feet on Trent, which is unlikely to happen, but it's a possibility, though I feel pretty settled with this team and it gives me some flexibility if any last minute news crops up. As for my captain, it does look as though I would be captaining Sterling if I know he'll start. It's either between Sterling or David Silva. It does also look as though my captaincy curse may well have been lifted, although it may just have been on hold for a week as my captain and vice captain did get exactly the same points this week. So I'm not sure if it was just on hold or whether I've finally broken that curse, so I guess we'll find out this week. But at the moment, I'm between David Silva and Sterling for captaincy. And lastly, moving on to the trending transfers this week, let's take a rapid look at the players in and out ahead of the final game week. Of the goalkeepers, Pope is still the trendiest goalkeeper in with 50,000+ purchases, while Schmeichel is the most transferred out with 25,000+ sales. Of the defenders, the injured Soyuncu is the most transferred out with 54,000+ sales. Tarkowski is the most transferred in defender this week with 69,000+ purchases. In midfield, just like last game week, Sterling is by far the trendiest player in this game week with 115,000+ purchases. Rather surprisingly though, KDB is the player making way for Sterling with 68,000+ sales, tied for the most transferred out player in midfield this week, and perhaps just as surprisingly is Bruno Fernandes with 68,000+ sales. Up front, Jimenez and Vardy are head to head to be the most transferred out this week with 79,000+ sales, whilst Kane is the forward most transferred in this game week with 90,000+ purchases. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching and supporting me this season. I really couldn't do it without you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll update you guys on how I got on in the final game week on my social media channels, but for now I'm going to have a little well-deserved break after all the gaming and FPL content in the last few months. Please feel free to check out my sponsors fantasyfootballfix.com, and before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'll be back with some content around the season restart at the beginning of September, but until next time, Nymphrya out.